Hello, guys. Hello, you guys here? Okay, just wait for a couple of few more students to go join. This is the first class, so let's be yeah. Okay, so let's just wait a little bit.
Hi, sir.
Hello, yeah, hi. Just excited to be here, I guess. So after some break. So how is everything with you guys? How
All
are you
good, sir.
facing with the situation?
Yes, sir.
You're all right. You're doing all right, it seems.
Yes, sir. All good.
All good. Nice to hear. So So, how many of you have any idea, have taken any course related to data analytics in the past?
And data science, sir.
Data science. Okay, what did you learn in data science? Do you know about like statistics? Did you learn about statistics, or what did you learn? Like, can you give me a brief
Mm,
introduction of what you have learned?
Yeah, the statistics and then it's about the R programming, sir.
So you learned, you know R? Can you write like a program in R?
Yes, sir. Only the basic one. Then there was assignment. The different data was given the accident fatalities, and then we
Okay.
need to
Okay, that's good. That's good. I mean,
transfer
that means,
the histogram and then like the scatter plotting
yeah.
to the R programming.
Okay, so what about how do you think your knowledge of statistics is, for example? Like, I mean, I'm not generally for you, but I'm just asking in general, how would you rate your own knowledge of statistics? Because statistics is how R is working. Like, do you know that?
No, sir. I don't know that.
Okay, so basically R is a statistical analysis package, really. So it does a lot of data analytics. It does data visualization as well, but mostly it helps you in creation and analysis of extensive analysis of statistical tools. Like you can calculate mean, median within a group. You can categorize the data within a group, and then find out and calculate the segregate the data, slicing the data and all. So that is something that you will learn in R. So that's good. Anybody else? Anybody want to share their own opinions, like their experiences with data analytics that you had in the past, guys? Anybody else want to speak, or you're all silent people? Huh?
So we are doing using any programming like R, anything else during this data analytics course.
Yeah. Okay.
Are we
Uh,
using anything, sir, like the programming?
okay. So we will be using R programming completely. I mean, extensively. We will be learning about R this semester. We will be focusing completely on R, and I want to let you know that in R, like you can actually solve a lot of problems using R. Not just the problems that you usually face, but you can solve problems that are related to simulation. You can run simulations using R. You can do the calculations for different scenarios using R. While Excel also can be used, but R is more sophisticated when it comes to when it comes to handling those kind of stuff. So that's good. So let's start with the lecture. Let's start our week 1 here. Okay, just give me 1 second. Just probably got email. Yeah, okay, so let's start with yeah. Sorry about that. Let's get it done. Where is my yeah? So here is so welcome to data analytics course. Our course number is 370. This is the second time I'm teaching this data analytics course, and I think you guys are all undergraduates. I'm assuming that most of you have taken some course related to data analysis in the past, because it is level 370. So I'm assuming that you know basics about mean, median, mode, statistics, so is it true for all the people, or do you guys need revision on that as well?
No, sir, we have studied in the R during the data science. We studied like the statistics.
You study
Median
statistics.
also.
Wonderful, wonderful. Anyway, so that I just want to confirm if you are all, so everybody is confident regarding their basics of data science and also basics of statistics. Do you know the difference between, for example, I mean, it's a basic thing. What is an interquartile range, for example? Can anybody tell me what an interquartile range is?
Or Q3 minus Q1.
Yeah,
The
so yeah, correct. Yeah, so how does it work?
mm,
How do you calculate? If I give you like for like 100 different points, how do you think you can calculate the interquartile range?
we have got a formula, so we need to calculate the Q1 and then Q2.
Okay, what does the Q1 represent?
The first quartile range.
What quartile range? Okay, so all right, if I give you, okay, fine. Okay, so I thought you have some idea. So the interquartile range represents the middle 50% of the population. Right, if you arrange all the population of the 100 points, let us say there are 100 points, you arrange them in order, so the middle 50% from 26 to 75, so that would be the middle quartile. That's what interquartile range represents, and the difference between Q3 and Q1 is called the range. So why do we need to do IQR instead of range? What is the difference? What do you think? Why do you think you need to do? What is the purpose of that IQR? Why do we calculate it? Is it because we can calculate it, or does it have any value? What is the purpose? Okay, so nobody knows what the purpose of IQR is. Why can't we just use range? Maximum minus minimum, we can also do it. What purpose does IQR solve?
Don't know about this, sir.
It solves the problem of outliers. So yeah, so I see that, I mean, based on the questions that I have asked and based on your response, I see that you are okay with statistics but not great. So I would recommend, like, some of you just go back and little bit of do some study on variance and standard deviation and central tendencies, or obviously mean, median, and mode. And I think that is basically what you will learn in, like, maybe in your 11th grade or 12th grade. So but there are things that you need to be comfortable with, standard deviation, IQR, and all these things. So that would be, I hope that you will learn these things on your own today. I mean, not today, after the class is done. So make sure that you are brushed up, you are up to date on your statistics knowledge that is required for you for this course. I know it's been a while, so but it is necessary for you. All right, so let's get back to the lecture. So today we live in the world of information. Everywhere, a lot of people, wherever you make a purchase, wherever you order something, you always create data, right? For example, um, you if you purchase something on Amazon, right? So Amazon will keep track of who is making the purchase, from where it is being purchased, what is the maximum order of the purchase. So whenever you make a single transaction, that creates a row, right? That creates a data point. So all such data points must be stored, right? And that's why we have so much information today that it is very hard to store, to process, to analyze, and to make sense of it, really. So our goal as a data analyst, right, is to primarily manage the data and make sense of the data. We can build visualizations, we can build plots, but ideally we want to convert the information that we are receiving into useful data, right? So that's what the difference between data and information is. We want to use You want to create some action using the information and the data that we receive. So let us look at the difference between information and data. Can you give me an example? Can someone tell me the difference between the two? Can anybody tell me the difference between information and data?
Information is the meaningful thing, sir. By the combination of the data, data is the raw thing.
Data is the raw thing.
We can generate the information from the data, sir.
We can no, that's the reverse. Actually, you said the reverse. So information is something that is visible for you, right? Data is something that you can use based on that information. You create data from the information. For example, you can if you watch the news, you get information, right? Today the temperature is 23 degrees centigrade, right? Let us say that is an information that you got. So you can convert that information into a data point, and these data points can be analyzed. So basically information is just something like, so someone says there is a flood, in Victoria, or flood in China, right? So if you say that that is an information, right, you want to convert that how often the floods are happening, then you can record that information as a data point, and you can analyze, okay, in 2020 in July there was a flood, then it becomes a data point. So you can mix, you can gather a lot of information from different sources and make them into data, and based on this data you can take an action. right? Obviously, for the flood, we cannot do anything. But if it is data related to poverty or something, or obviously the governments can act on that information, on that data. So you create the data and you analyze that data. So if you look at the iceberg that you are seeing here, what do you understand from this picture? What do you understand from this picture? What is the meaning of iceberg? Like iceberg, majority of the icebergs, why is this 80% and why is this 20%? Guys?
80%.
What is this 80% and 20%? This is a very I have used the same picture in so many classes which are not even relevant to data analytics, but this is a very important picture that you need to understand. What does this picture represent? Why is this 80% here and 20% here?
20% above the water.
20% of the weight of the iceberg is above the water. 80% is below the water. Right? So
Yeah.
what does it mean? What does it mean? Hi guys, I am muting everybody so that there is no noise. So if you want to speak, if I'm asking you a question and you want to speak, so please unmute yourself and speak. So I don't want any noise in my classroom. Okay. So okay, go ahead and yeah, answer that question. Like, what is the purpose? Why? How does this relate to data? How does this iceberg picture relate to data? What is the 80% here? What is the 20% here? Anybody? You can make a good guess. Even if you don't know, you can make a good guess.
Sir?
Yeah.
I'm just making a guess. I'm not sure.
Yeah, okay.
It's like it's about something storage.
It's not about storage really, no.
Okay.
See, when you look at the data that when you see something, right? Only 20% is visible. Right? When you look at something from a distance, you can only see a part of it. Majority of the information is hidden like a data. So only if you go deep into the ocean and look at that iceberg, you will understand more about the data. So majority of the data that you see on the front, like let us say, you can say Kmart is doing very well during the coronavirus crisis, right? You can see a lot of people are flocking up, but that information is only little bit. You don't get the full picture. The only way you will get the full picture is by looking at the 80% of data that was hidden. So you need to look deep into the data in order to make sense of it, because only a small portion of the data is easy and visual. Majority of it has hidden trends and underlying patterns that you need to explore, data exploration, and then you can understand the remaining 80%. Right? Just like human behavior, right? Human behavior, this iceberg has a different interpretations. Just like if you look at a person, you may be able to understand 20% about them based on their appearance, right? But the remaining 80%, you need to analyze them to understand the remaining 80%. Just like a person or a data or anything, this iceberg picture, the analogy of iceberg is very similar in different fields as well, just like that in data as well. Majority of the data is not visible to you, right? You cannot gather information from just by looking at the data. You need to explore. You need to look deep into the data to understand the data. Is that clear? Is that making sense, guys?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, when you are looking at big data, okay, companies like Google, Amazon, Microsoft, all these companies, Facebook, so they collect a lot of data. The data come from different sources. Some of the sources maybe due to chat windows, some of the maybe through online transactions, some of the data could be the purchases that you make at a store. So all these data, the data can be in any form, right? It need not always, the data need not always be in a structured fashion. When you have data stored in a structured fashion, that is called a structured data. Usually this kind of data is a luxury. Usually this is not how you get the data in the beautiful format. No, you will get mostly unstructured data, like when you're doing social media chatting, right? So that you are creating some data points. Obviously they will not be structured. So when you're looking at the clicks, when you're looking at the tags, you're tagging somebody. So all this is unstructured data, right? A structured data, for example, could be like a spreadsheet where the data can also be stored on SQL servers where it is extremely organized, right? Name, age, everything is perfectly organized. Transaction ID, when the purchase was made, what how much was the amount of the purchase. So that can be called as structured data in an SQL, on an SQL server, or in an Excel spreadsheet. However, that is not how the real world works. In the real world you get a lot of nonsense. You get text data from the government websites, you get data in a CSV format. Sometimes you can get data in a picture format, you can get a PDF, right? All this has to be converted into a structured data before you jump into data analysis. Okay, and some of the data is in a semi-structured way, or we call it hybrid or multi-structured. So for example, this is primarily visible in e-commerce. If Amazon is tracking your purchases, so we can classify Amazon the way the Amazon, some of it is structured, like is some part of it is like the name and the transaction ID. Some part of it's structured, but there are other sources of information. So obviously demographic location, geographic positions, what the currency conversion, these are all, we can call it as a hybrid structure. So basically three categories: structured, unstructured, and a mix of both, which is very common in e-commerce. And when you're gathering data from a third party source, that is usually how the data is looking. Now let's move on to what are we going to do with the big data. There are five things. First of it is volume. Volume is magnitude of how big is the data. And then variety of the data. Variety indicates whether it is a structured data. Can we can use structured as well as unstructured data in a variety. As a variety is a different kinds of data, right? And then veracity. Veracity means truthfulness. Can you believe the data that you received, right? Sometimes if you organize a survey, right? Let us say if I ask you how often, how many hours in a week do you exercise, right? A lot of people will say 6 hours, 8 hours, 10 hours, like, but most of the people, they don't exercise, right? They don't, that's the reality. But nobody will say honestly and respond honestly to this kind of data collection. So the veracity of the data, is it believable, the data that we gathered? That's the veracity part. Then the value of the data, that means is it useful, is it current? Is it old data that that may not be valid anymore, right? And then velocity, the speed at which data is changing, that's called the velocity of the data. So all these 5 V's: volume, variety, veracity, value, and velocity, all these are the fundamental five V's of the data, of the big data. Now the challenges are enormous. So when it comes to handling large volumes of data, it is very difficult. You need to have big build servers, and then variety of the data is also very hard to manage. That's where a data engineer comes in, or a data analyst. Like, he tries to gather different sources of information, different variety of data. Some of the data will be census, some of the data will be video based. So how do you want to put all this into a spreadsheet or an SQL server? It's very complex. So that's why data management is a job in itself, right? And then there is volatility, velocity or volatility. That means the data doesn't live forever on a particular point. It continuously changing. For example, coronavirus, what are the number of cases in particular location? So that data keeps on updating, changes quickly. So you need to make sure, you need to understand and get the real-time analysis of the data, not just okay, you collected from such a particular point in time and that's it. No, you got to get into the real-time analysis. And then you also need to make sure that the data that you gather is believable, right? You need to have integrate you need to have integral sources or integrity sources, or like, I mean, good sources, right? Sources that are believable, sources that are from a government website, sources that are organized by a very good research, right? So that data must be believable. And then value, it must be complete, must be accurate. So these are the fundamental issues that we are having with data. So far, is everything clear, guys? Is everything clear so far?
Yes, sir.
I hope I am making sense. And if you have, I mean, see, I just want to give as many practical examples as possible so that you enjoy the lecture. So if you want to enjoy the lecture more, right, you can ask me questions, and we can initiate a small discussion based on the topics that we learned. So it's not like I will speak and you will listen. It need not be like that, right? If you have any question, you can ask me, and you can also share some of your ideas that are related to this. Okay, so please be open about learning. When it comes to learning, you can only learn by doing and speaking something. You cannot learn by just by listening. That's not the best way to participate in a learning activity. So you need to do something. You need to ask questions. You need to be actively participating. Okay, so I hope that everybody, I mean, can overcome their shyness and participate in the discussion. Okay, so that's what I'm talking about. Like, deluge of data means huge volume of data that is there. The managers gather data from broad range of disciplines: manufacturing, risk management, finance, and HR. So that's why the data is extremely important, right? And also the customer database that you are seeing. Uh, if you're looking at mm, if you're looking at data from Netflix, or the shipping data, or information from a health website, all these, you can do what we call a web analytics, right? Web analytics is primarily designed to analyze the data that is available or stored in a website. So web analytics, that means what are the number of words that are being spoken, what kind of words are being spoken. That is all under text mining and web analytics. That is also a hot topic nowadays. Okay, and then So when you are looking at why is data analytics important, it's one of the most advanced analytics capabilities, right? And data analytics is like, it's 5 times more likely to make decisions faster. So if you know your market, if you are able to analyze and make decisions, it can improve your bottom line. So, and it is likely to execute decisions 3 times faster. And it can speed up the frequency when making your decisions. So like how to use the data, right? How frequently you can use the data when making a decision. It can speed up that process. And it is likely to be in the top 25% of financial performance within the industries. That means the companies that are using advanced analytical techniques, they will be the ones that are at the top. So it is extremely important today to gather data, analyze data, and understand data and make decisions based on the data. It's very important. Only all the top companies are doing it. And the companies that are doing this well, for example, the biggest company, what is the biggest company that use data analytics extensively? Which company in the whole world, which company is the master of using data analytics? If you want to name one company, what company would that be?
Microsoft.
Microsoft? No, I don't think so. It is using, but it's not even close. Which company? It's a top. The survival of that company depends on data analytics. What is that company?
Amazon.
Amazon is the biggest user of data analytics, right? I will show you. I'm going to share with you a link for the documentary that I shared, that I learned. I mean, Amazon, you know how many stores they open? They gather data from different sources, and it is like almost becoming a monopoly. Amazon Prime, Amazon Web Services. Amazon is into every single market, right? Amazon privacy issues, not privacy. Amazon analytics. Mm, I saw a good documentary. Amazon documentary. Mm, yeah, this one you can actually watch. This is a good one. How Amazon, Jeff Bezos, and about collecting data. So how Amazon gathers data and collecting data. This is a good one that you want to watch. How the Amazon delivers 1 day shipping. So it's there are quite a lot of interesting. Are you able to see my screen?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes.
So this is say how often, like I'm going to share this link in the chat box, so you you can. So this is something that you can watch during the tutorial, or like when you are free. So please make sure that, like, what I want you to have is, like, make sure that you have that thirst for knowledge. Like, the knowledge is available nowadays on the internet for free. So make sure that you are using the resources that are available for you. Okay, don't just depend on, okay, I'm listening to the lecture, I'm writing the exam, and I'm passing the exam. Yeah, that's good, that's all good, but make sure that you are proactively seeking knowledge, seeking information. Okay, and I can help you. If you are more motivated to learn, I am more likely to help you. Okay, So always
Thank
ask
you.
me questions. Ask me, like I do a lot of research, and I watch a lot of documentaries, TED talks regarding data analytics as well. And I am very much informed about data analytics. So if you have any particular question, so you can ask me, right? You can ask me, okay, so why are the companies, what is Coles doing to do the data analytics? How do Coles use the data? So like, so these kind of things I always keep on learning. So I think that is a good habit when it comes to living in the modern world like today. So you should always keep on learning new things, and that is something that you should take away from this course, right? Data analytics is a quickly changing environment, and you need to be on top of it. Okay. All right, so that's data, that's analytics architecture. Analytics strategy is about designing a data architecture that enables prediction. It enables, like, how many of you are familiar with business intelligence? What is business intelligence? What's the
Intelligence,
meaning
I
of
don't.
business intelligence? Yeah. Have you heard of Power BI?
No.
No, Power BI, you never heard of it? It's a business analytics tool.
How it works, sir?
It's like it gathers a lot of in we can take we can put different kinds of data into a Power BI software, and we can
Uh-huh.
create visualizations that we can analyze. It is a more complicated version of Tableau. Do you know Tableau?
No.
You never heard of Tableau? Okay, Tableau is also a data visualization tool. I think you might have seen Tableau, but you might have not known about Tableau. Let me show you what this is. If you
It's related to some kind of book, publishing a book or something.
what
So,
what is your question?
is related to some kind of book or something?
Tableau? No. It's not related to a book. No, it's a software. I'm gonna show you.
Sure.
I'm gonna show you. Are you able to see the screen?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay. Um, so Tableau is something. Is also as a data analyst. If you are learning data analytics, there are some things that you are required to learn. And today, the one that is being used the most for data analysis is not R. What is the software that we are using nowadays most often for data analytics? Which program do we use for data analytics mostly in the modern day world? If you go to for a job interview, right? There is one package that is actually more important than R. What is it? No, you don't know? Have you heard of Python?
Yes, sir.
Definitely.
Yeah, Python. You can use pandas to do Python. So this is Tableau. But anyway, so there are a few analytical tools that you need to be familiar with. It's not just learning R. R is only one of the things that you are required to learn. But you need to learn a little bit of Tableau. I think you already know how to work with Excel.
Yes,
Do
sir.
you know how a SQL works? So these are the things. When you go for a job interview, they will ask you these things, right? Mister, do you know anything about a SQL? If I give you like, so this is a data, like this is called a Tableau. Right now, I can show you how Tableau works, but I don't have enough time to cover the lecture and also this. But since we are here, I just want to show you how it works. Yeah, so let me open. So it's a beautiful visualization tool that we can use. Okay, it's usually it takes some time to load and all, but Yeah. Okay, so it is loading. Thanks. Okay. So now, yeah, okay. So just give me 1 second. It is loading. So usually Tableau is slightly slower compared to R, let's say. It takes more processing speed because it generates visuals. Now we can have this is basically a Tableau. Basically we can, yeah. So now if you look at you can look at the countries that are happy, right? You can look at this is a happiness index for different countries. You look at different countries. Australia average score is 7.2. India average score is 4. You look at US, the average score is 7. But there are countries like Brazil. They are actually much more happier than India. And Australia is one of the most happier countries, right? Now you see Canada is much more happier than United States, right? And more happy countries, you can see they are in Sweden, Norway, Luxembourg. They are all actually rich countries that are actually much happy. So this is like a happiness index that you can show. So you can show different graphs on a single, you can show GDP, how different graphs. GDP is increasing. Is the happiness increasing? Yeah. As the GDP is increasing, happiness is increasing. So this is the data analysis that I personally did because I'm interested in data analysis. Now this is a cluster. We can create different clusters. Now you can see this is these countries are poor African countries. These are like Asian countries, and you have like rich, happy countries over here. So you can create different cluster analysis as well. So basically what we can do using Tableau is about visualization of data, right? This is something that you need to, like, you at least need to be familiar with. Okay, I'm not an expert in Tableau, okay, but I know what it does. So don't be completely ignorant of what the data tools that are available out there. You need to know what are they, what is the purpose of this, what is the purpose of Power BI, how does what does Python do. Basics. Just
So,
learn the basics. Don't go to
what
an interview saying that I don't know anything about, I never heard of Python. It would be looking very, very bad on your record. Okay.
so what the data collection done?
Most what?
Data collection.
Data collection. Yeah.
Yeah. How are they done? Like in the content of like how the happy
Yeah.
the percentage
Okay.
of it.
Okay. This particular data, this is conducted by a survey. Usually
Um.
governments organize surveys,
Mm-hmm.
and over like 20,000 people, they gather information based on surveys. Most of the, like unless it is a GDP, government actually collects a lot of data.
Okay.
And you can look at the, like, for example, Australian government. I'm going to show you. So if you look at ABS, right, this is on my desktop. Like you can see here,
Mm-hmm.
ABS
Yep.
is ABS is Australian Bureau of Statistics. I use this data extensively. I gather data for different indicators, business indicators, for example, right? I can look at different indicators. What are different inventories? What are the capital things that are going on? So you can gather any different information, analysis by industry, right? You can look at different industries, how different industries are doing, right? Mining, how is mining doing? How is travel? How is manufacturing doing? Right? You can gather a lot of information from government websites also. So the ability to gather information and
So
process this information, I can
these are
download this. Hello, you have any question? For example, I can download this website, download this data, right? I can click on download, I can put it into my Excel, and I put it in my Tableau and analyze the data. Very simple. Okay. I don't have enough time to show you how to do that particularly, but I think, yeah, if you are interested, like, if you see my screen, are you able to see my desktop?
yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Okay.
Yes.
So you can see that I
Which
have R. I have R is something that I use a lot. I I write a lot of programs using R. Like you can see, there are different programs that I've created using R. And I've created visuals as well using R.
Okay.
For example, this is something that you can do using R. So now you can see, if I ask you, see different countries, different industries that are doing well in Australia. What industries are doing well in Australia? In 2003, mining, then electricity and financial services, banking is here, and then so manufacturing is very low, right? Now you see over a few years, construction will pick up. Construction, I think, will be so
Yep.
now you see so that is an animation that you can create using R, right? So basically what I'm trying to tell you is you can use different kinds of tools. Data analytics is like a beautiful subject, right? Don't just learn data analytics to pass the course. That is one of the worst reasons. Don't do it for to get a grade. No. Learn it because it is like very energetic field. It gives you opportunities to, you can ask interesting questions from the data. You can create animations. So I think I enjoy data analytics, right? I mean, nobody paid me any money to do those visuals, right? I because I'm interested, I'm doing it. That's all.
Yeah, because data are very good. Data's.
Yeah. So if you get into the habit of exploring the data, right? All these programs, right? All these data analytics programs, I wrote it for myself. Nobody asked me to write anything. Nobody is paying me anything. So, but I am interested. That's why I write, right? So when you are interested in learning, then
Something.
nobody can stop you, right? For example, anybody watch cricket? Is anybody interested in cricket?
No, sir, no.
Yes.
Yes,
Nobody?
sir.
No?
Yes, sir. Yes. Yes. Yes.
Uh,
Virat Kohli.
Okay, so I have created a data analytics for cricket as well.
Okay.
I took the data from crickinfo.com and created data for that. So I'm going to show you the final output so that you can see what it
these
can
are
generate.
these are written by you, sir, or are these?
All of them are written by me.
So
So you can so if you so I mean, anyway, so it is taking time. So anyway, so all this code, I write all the code. I like I write codes relating to data analytics, and so that's what I do. I am passionate about it. So let's continue with our course. So I mean, if you are interested, I can give you some tips as well. Like I create animations. I'm going to show you one more animation. Like I know we are a little bit short on time, but hopefully. Okay, so these are the visualizations that I've created, and I want to show you something.
this is your own website, sir? This is your website?
This is one of my work ply what?
I thought this was your website, like
No, it's
just for
not
the
my
title.
website. It's so now how many of you watch IPL? You guys watch IPL?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So
Yes.
now this is for different countries with different times which one was the champion, right? Different positions of different countries. You can follow your own like if you see Hyderabad, right? Anybody from Chennai or like is there any thing that you want to follow? Anybody from Kolkata?
Yeah.
Okay, so now if you want to follow Kolkata, you just need to click on Kolkata, and now you can see Kolkata. Kolkata was last in 2009, right? But they won the championship in 2012,
Yeah.
and they very down again, and again they won in 2014.
Yeah.
So it's like up and down. Like if you look at Chennai, Chennai was
Yes.
almost always in the top. So all
What
this,
about the what
what
about
is
the RCB, sir?
RCB? You are interested in RCB, yeah? Okay,
Always
so
at
next
the
look at
bottom.
Bangalore. Okay, that's Bangalore. So you can see all these kind of visuals can be created using data. So this data I just gathered from crickinfo.com, put it in an Excel sheet, and then process the data and created an animation. Right?
Yeah,
See how beautiful it is. You can
yeah.
create this kind of stuff if you are like understanding the basics of how the data analytics works. Right? Any question? Like any other questions, guys? So yeah, so what I am trying to tell you is that it's a beautiful subject.
It is.
It gives you energy to do things. You can once you get addicted to it, like nobody will stop you. And yeah, okay. So try something, learn some software, and yeah, as far as R is concerned, I will be there with you for like I can guide you as much as I can. But ultimately, if you are not motivated to learn, right, you will not learn anything. You just do a few lines of code here and there, and that's it. But if you are motivated to learn, you can learn 100 times more than me. Nobody can stop you really. Okay. So
Okay.
anyway, so hopefully I gave some inspiration to some people, some of you. Uh, but
Thank you for that.
yeah. So I do. I am very interested in data. So I think if you have the energy and motivation, always you can always ask me, and I will be able to provide you the guidance that is needed for you. Okay. And data analytics is the future. There are going to be a lot of jobs for you in data analytics. So don't waste your time. There is a data scientist from who is 11-year-old or 9-year-old data scientist from India who was working for Amazon. 9-year-old, right? He knows R, he knows Python. So I was really surprised to see that guy. And if you type in like YouTube, you can find that guy also. So people who are from very young age, they are getting into analytics. So it's a very useful domain. Okay, as I said, the data is something that is about raw facts, and data is about converting the content into a facts, right? Data is when you gather a data point, you can analyze the data and make a useful information out of it, right? So information is something that is particular, and data is something that can be analyzed. You can think of it like that. So a data point, each of this on the spreadsheet, this is a data point. But the fact that it is increasing, right? The sales have been increasing, that's an information, right? See how you can use the data points and say something meaningful. That meaningful statement is called information. You can create information based on the data. So data will make you intelligent, data will make you wise, data will give you information, and that is the role of business intelligence today. So understanding the role of business, and then you will become the master, right? So data capture, on the other hand, is about gathering the data. What are the different sources of data? Where do you collect this data? Right? The data is available in a warehouse. You can store it in a warehouse, but where do you collect them? Right? Either it's the historical data, it can be available from a website. It is an operational data. You can look at the balance sheets of the company and the income statements of the company. If it is a cash flow statement, you can look at like who are the creditors, who are the debitors, who owe the company. So a Power BI on one, like the software that I'm talking about is a Power BI. It is the one that captures all this information, right? You can use different analytical tools and put them into Power BI, and then you get like beautiful information you get information from the data. Right, that's the source of Power BI. So the Tableau visualizations that I showed you about the happiness, that's also I collect a lot of data, put it in Tableau, and I get a beautiful information. So that's the difference between data and information. Is that clear? Are you able to follow that? So any questions you can ask me. If you have any questions, please ask me. Have any questions? No? Okay. So then we will when you are a small business enterprise, so you need to look at data governance, how it is controlled and how it is integrated properly into your systems, and you need to be learning a lot about the spreadsheets as well. And data warehouse, data integration is bringing together different sources of data. Data warehousing is about storage of that data, right? What is the way, on what server you store the data. BI is how the managers of a business use this knowledge. That's called BI. So managers use two tools only, right? They look at only two tools, right? They don't do any Python programming. They don't do any R programming. They only look at two things, Tableau and Power BI, right? So they will make the decisions based on the information that you show to them using Tableau, based on the information that you show using Power BI. Okay, that's called business intelligence. And if you look at the steps involved in data analysis, then you need to create the data clean the data from multiple sources, integrate the data, put it together, and then store it in a database like SQL Server or any huge serving database, and then you analyze that. This is where Tableau or Power BI comes in. Okay, so this is where SQL is there, and this is where R and Python is there. So R and Python are primarily used to cleanse and integrate the data, and then you store the data in a SQL Server, and you present the data and visualizations and everything using Power BI and Tableau. So basically think of it like that, but you can use R to do visualizations also. You can use Python to do visualizations also. It doesn't mean that this part is only done using Tableau, but usually they are the preferred options. Okay, so now let's move on to this is the same thing that I shared with you. So there are the different parts. So quality management, data. So data warehousing is about storage of different stacking of the data and all. So business intelligence is about creation of dashboards and predictive analysis. So this is where you operate business intelligence. So the common terms that I want to share about before I do, I just want to take attendance. I hope you guys are enjoying the lecture. Okay, like if you have any questions, please always stop me and ask me. And you can look at my LinkedIn profile as well if you're interested in connecting with me and learning what I do and the articles that I write. So if you are interested in that, so I am more than happy to connect with you and help you. So let me give you attendance. Prabesh.
Yes, sir.
Prabesh, yeah, okay. Akriti. Ahsan. Jashandeep Kaur. Jashandeep Kaur. Is a guy or a girl? Girl. Darshan.
Yes, sir.
Mubashar. Ujwal. Okay, so the one thing that I'm going to tell you, I'm not going to take attendance twice. Like if you come late to the class or if you miss giving the attendance, that means you are not paying attention. That means you switched on your computer and you're going somewhere. In that case,
Sir, sometimes you just say too quick. We can't say yes, sir, in the same time.
yeah, but
No?
you should be hearing me, right? I'm
Yeah,
yeah.
we
So
will be hearing you, but sometimes the net, the net connection is
but
not
you
so
can, yeah,
good.
but no, don't give me excuse about net connection. So today today the internet is so cheap and so ubiquitous that it is like it's not even a problem. You can create a Zoom meeting, like people from different countries are meeting using Zoom. So if you're using a cell phone, don't tell me that oh, my service is poor, I don't have data. All this is like very, very stupid excuse. They are like, okay, fine, it happens once in like 100, once in like 1,000 times it may happen. But if it is happening again and again, that is not believable. You cannot say my internet got disconnected and that's why I couldn't, like, that's, yeah, it's a bad excuse, really. Anyway, that's fine. If you are having issues, just text me, like type it in there. But yeah, so I know that a lot of people, they just attend the class for the purpose of attendance. They stay connected and they just leave the computer there and go. That's not acceptable. Okay, Hussein.
Present,
Hussein
sir.
Mubashir. Yeah. Ujwal.
Present, sir.
Ujwal. Okay. Nabeen. Nabeen Raj. Nabeen Raj. Muskan. Muskan Pandey.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Pratik. Pratik. Suraj.
Present, sir.
Sharing. Tamang Sharing. Babin. Babin. Anish. Devash. I'm sharing my screen, right? You can see the screen as well.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So see your name as well. If you are unable to, if I'm not marking your attendance or something, just you can you put it in the chat window if your mic is not working. Okay. Bikal. Bikal. Prem. Ankit. Kishwar. Prakash.
Present, sir.
Why are so many less people present? Adip. Adip. Biag. Sania.
Here, sir.
Bhandari Milan. Milan Bhandari. Milan. Okay. Kiran.
Yes, sir.
Nishchal.
Yes, sir.
Aman. Sahil. Ajit.
Yes, sir.
Ajit. Are you Ajit?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, okay. Lama. Not Lama. Praveen. Okay, one more thing that you can do is, like, please put your names properly in the like, when I'm looking at the names, right? I see this number 11901096. Why can't you just put your name there?
Oh, Badri.
Yeah, so please put your name there so that, like, if I can look at these names, I can immediately mark the attendance. And but for example, Nishchal is perfect. Nishchal is not only given his name but also given his roll number. Why can't everybody do this? Do it like this.
Nishal.
It is easy for me to mark the attendance. There is no way in which I can miss Nishchal, for example.
Yeah.
So if you want clarity, everybody please put your roll number, or like put your name properly, your first name followed by your roll number. It's easy and it helps. Prabin, Faisal, Sushant,
Yes, sir.
Amit,
Present, sir.
Samir,
Sir Amit Khatri.
Amit Khatri, yeah. What about Samir? Karkis Samir. Sukhdeep Kaur,
Present, sir.
Susan, Shivam,
Present, sir.
Tanya,
Yes, sir.
Vinod,
Yes, sir.
Rabin,
Here.
Prasiddha,
Yes, sir.
Namaraj,
Yes, sir.
Adesh, Bibek, Saurav, Shikha,
Present, sir.
Leknath, I see Leknath. See, that's why this is absent-minded. Chandramani. Okay, there were a few people. Leknath, okay. Prem Tamang is there. Sharing Tamang. Okay, Prem Tamang. Okay. Silwal.
Sir, Adesh Adhikari is present.
So, okay, I'll go back. Soni Kamal. Okay, so I'm going up. So let me know if these guys are Samir. Okay, so anybody here whose attendance was not marked, just let me know. Okay. Sahil, Raj Aman, there, Bhandari Milan. Okay, so here, anybody here, Tamang is present. Okay, he just sent me an email. Okay.
Number 2.
Tamang, okay, so both Tamangs are present. Okay. All right, so anybody else who was not marked? Sharon Preet Singh. Are there anybody who is not like, is there anyone new who not supposed to be here? I don't see Sharon Preet Singh, for example. Sharon Preet. Sharon Preet, are you a student of my, are you my student?
I'm sorry, sir. Actually, that's my mistake.
Okay. Yeah.
It's a deep core. This is my friend's laptop, so I'm using, and it's still his name on there.
Okay. What is your name?
Deep core 11901164.
Okay, so I already marked your attendance, right?
Yes.
Okay. No problem. That's fine. No big deal. I don't mind that. So that's it, right? Like,
Sir, down there, Adesh is present. You haven't marked my attendance.
Adesh, where are you, Adesh? Number? Which number?
Yeah, it's down. It's 42.
Yeah, 42. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Just easy to tell me your number so that I can look at your number. Okay, and then mark.
Yeah.
All right. So ideally, there is one thing that you can do. I mean, to make the marking extremely easier, I just got an idea. All right. So you can just you can put your name as like 1 underscore your name. Then like all your numbers will be coming in line here. Then I can mark it. It's easy like that. Anyway, all right, that's good. Any of you are also taking my business how many of you are also supposed to come to my tutorial?
I have your tutorial.
Does all of you have my tutorial? No. Okay, so not
some of them are, some of not, sir.
Okay, some of you have other tutorials. Yeah,
Yeah.
okay, that's fine. Yeah. All right, no worries. So it's a complicated course. There are so many people teaching and so many people tutoring and yeah, okay. So anyway, let's move on. Dashboards, you know what a dashboard is? Dashboard is about a lot of pictures put in together for a business person to look at. We know what a data cleansing is. I talked to you about data mart. Data mart is where like it's a warehouse where business group gathers information. What is data mining? This is a job, you know, data mining is a job. What's data mining? It's about finding patterns, right? What are the patterns that are hidden inside the data? That's called data mining. Looking at the dependencies, looking at what your purchase patterns and all. Like, for example, I will tell you one story. Probably you don't know this. Um, there was there was a 45-year-old man, right, who used to get a lot of who is getting a lot of advertisements for baby diapers, who is getting advertisements for baby diapers and pregnancy products. Like, he's 45 years old and he's married and he has a kid. And the he got really angry, like, to the shopkeeper. Why are you sending me the diaper coupons? Right? It makes no sense. I am never going to use these diapers. Right? Why 10% discount on diapers, 10% discount on baby products, 15% discount on cribs and all like that. So then he got angry and he went to the manager and he said, like, why is this happening? Like, why are you sending me all this nonsense? Then the manager said, we are sending it because your daughter is pregnant. Right? Because they are collecting data from that from her daughter, and the daughter shared the address and they are mailing that to her daughter.
Oh, okay.
So whenever you are saying a loyalty card, like, how many of you have a loyalty card or customer card or whatever? Do you guys have, when you're shopping somewhere, do you have the cards, these kind of cards? They are not 5% discount cards, really. They are data cards. So whenever you are buying something, they will tell you, hey, use my information. I am public. I will tell you where I am. I will tell you what I purchase and all. So you are selling your privacy. So loyalty cards, they are basically keeping track of you for and they market what you are buying, and they advertise based on that. So that's why they give you 5% discount, not because they are friendly people. A lot of people think, okay, I'm getting 5% discount. No, you are if you are really thinking that you are getting a discount, you are an idiot. Right? They are actually trying to sell you more because they are giving you up in the coupons for 10%, like, you know, and all this nonsense. Anyway, like, not okay. All right, so let's
It's just
all
the
right, so
business.
yeah,
Just the business.
that is business. Yeah. Yeah, so that is how businesses actually, if they are encroaching on your privacy, that is a problem, right? Like, you know, I don't want everybody to know where I live and what I buy. You know, it's a little bit privacy has to be there, right? Yeah, I mean, like, you know, if I bought a bunch of avocados from a grocery store, or, like, you know, so they should not think that I'm an avocado buff or something like that. So basically, I don't want some information to be shared.
Yeah, some of the information should be private.
Private, yeah. So when you are doing data analysis, these are the things that you are required to know. Data preparation is about, like, putting together data. And then data profiling is about it's a data quality process, examining, like, what are the anomalies, is the data within range and all these things. That is called data profiling. Data governance is about following the rules and procedures that are involved in governing the data. Visualization, as I told you, it's about tabular or visual graphical representation of the data. So extract, transform, and load, ETL, is a process where you extract the information, you transform the information into like a spreadsheet format usually, and then load it into a system for analysis. So MDM is master data management, where we can maintain a consistent view on, because predictive analytics, customer analytics, all this. And then predictive analytics is about making predictions from the data. So all these, like, text analytics, text mining is one of the biggest things. Like, let us say if you are talking with your friends on Facebook, what are the words that you are using more often? Are you using the word love, or using the word hate, or using the word virus? So all these things, that's called a text mining, text analytics. And then we have structured and unstructured data. I covered this. OLAP is online analytical processing. So it uses like a different dimensional models where like you can create a multi-dimensional pivot like a spreadsheet. And these are like complex data analytics tools that we will cover in the future. So I hope you got like a basic understanding of what I am trying to talk about. And any questions, guys? Like any general questions related to data analytics also, I am willing to take.
So what about the data collected by the Google Analytics and all the Cambridge Analytics? What do you call them?
I'm sorry, come again. Can you please repeat the question? I couldn't hear you.
Data collected by the Google Analytics and
Yeah.
Cambridge Analytics. What
Data
are those data?
Where are those databases? Is that your question?
Yep.
The databases are usually owned by like big major companies. Like for example, Amazon has Amazon Web Services where they store the data. Whenever you make a purchase, if you make an Amazon order, if you make a purchase using Amazon, that is going to go directly into the database. Yeah.
All right.
They convert that into a structured data. They say like your ID, your location, everything, and then they send it for analysis.
That's cool.
Any other questions?
I think that's all for the week one, I think so.
Yeah, so for other people, guys, so what about you guys? Do you have any questions regarding the data? Guys, any questions?
All the like text messages and everything are stored in the Facebook data.
Most of it they will be stored for a while, and then the analysis will be done quickly, and after that they will delete all that. So the space must be cleared over and over. Like they don't keep the data for like 100 years or 20 years or something like that. They just keep it for 3 or 4 years.
Data.
Yeah, and then because data takes space. If you want to store you need to store the right amount of data and identify which data is going to be useful, and then store that data.
All right.
And I just want you to experience this, the value of data. You don't a lot of people think they can share anything on the internet and all this. This is like they are very careless with their own data. I just don't like it. Amazon. There was a documentary that I watched that so now this is something that I want to watch.
Trying to complete for sellers.
It's not good video, sir.
So watch this one, and you will know. I'm gonna share it in the chat window.
Okay, sir.
So just take a few moments and watch that, and give me some comments based on it.
Okay, sir. Sure.
Yeah. So let's just make it more interactive. Please, everybody, please participate in the discussion. Otherwise, if it will be too boring for me just to keep talking. Yeah, please participate. So watch that video. It's very interesting.
Can I watch it now or later, sir? Watch it now? Or watch it now?
Actually, hi guys. Hey guys, hello.
Yes, sir.
Watch
Yes,
the
sir.
yeah. This is not the one. Like watch the one that I shared with you before.
All right.
That is actually the best man. That made the data analytics made Jeff Bezos the richest man in the world today. Jeff Bezos is the richest man, Amazon CEO. So you know how big a company that is.
Yep.
Sir, could you
Yeah,
share the link of the video you want us to watch?
yeah, I shared. I think I shared. It is already. Yeah, Jeff Bezos. It's about collecting data. Yeah, watch the.
Take you to our website. The British do more of their shopping online than any other nation. Last year, tens of millions of British customers used Amazon to buy £4.5 billion worth of goods.
It's the instant gratification part of it that is so attractive to me and a little bit ominous.
Amazon is accused of changing the book business from this to this. Amazon's ambitions now stretch way beyond books into the world of media.
Introducing Amazon Fire TV.
Its drive to cut prices puts the squeeze on competitors.
It's actually designed from the ground up to be a shark. Like it's designed to dissolve and destroy other businesses.
But Amazon is also creating new jobs in Britain.
It gives us an opportunity to access a marketplace that we would never otherwise be able to access.
Start with the customer and work backwards.
Amazon's amazing story from a startup to global titan is also the story of its founder, Jeff Bezos.
He really is a tough boss. He has driven that company and drives those people very, very hard.
We ask what Amazon's ever-growing business is doing to our economy and our lives. And we examine how Jeff Bezos' formula for success shapes Amazon's culture and has made him such a happy billionaire. There aren't many places where Amazon doesn't reach these days. In fact, the more remote the spot, the more difference it's made to people's lives.
Online retailing really opens up the world to us.
You can't buy a rowing machine in John O'Groats, but Fred Fermors arrived the day after he ordered it on Amazon.
Although we live in quite a remote area, we still have the same choice as someone walking down Oxford Street in London.
Across town at the hotel, the darts team shirts also came from Amazon, ordered by the manager, Andrew Mowat.
Yeah, look at that bullseye. Before companies like Amazon or even internet, it was a lot more difficult for us to get things here. We would do a 20-mile trip to work at Thursday, or even worse than that, a 120-mile trip to Inverness.
John O'Groats has one shop. The locals still use it, but it's never going to have all the things they can find when they're back home looking online. What's a chap to do if he needs a fancy dress costume? Oh, yes. Or even a special kind of cloth for the family ferry business.
The convenience is irresistible. Then at the click of the button, you can buy it, and basically it's here the next day.
You don't have to live in John O'Groats to feel the lure of Amazon. We asked teacher Melanie Collins to run an experiment with her London class.
Year 6, I'm going to write a word on the board, and I want you to think about the first thing that pops into your head. What does this word mean?
20 years ago, there was just one answer.
I'm going to show you 2 pictures up on the board, and you're going to put your counters underneath what you thought of first. Okay, Mustafa, can you please come up and count how many people thought of the river? 8 people. Okay, thank you.
The mighty river never really stood a chance.
14 people. Okay, have a seat, please.
Most businesses would happily give their annual profits for that level of customer awareness. Amazon's ability to get into our heads is the product of a unique company culture. Its engineers in London are working on its growing film and TV service.
Go through that really quickly, a bit of information about each of the actors, some of the other movies that they were in. Yes.
The British business is run by Christopher North, an American who moved here 10 years ago. Everyone's kept in tune with the ideas of founder Jeff Bezos through a kind of Amazon think they're all expected to sign up to.
We have 14 leadership principles at Amazon, and these are a set of principles that describe to us the characteristics you need to exhibit to be a successful Amazonian. And I think we found that they are kind of glue that knits us together as a company, even now today that we're 97,000 employees at Amazon.
The principles are on the website for anyone to see, and if you work at Amazon, you'll never forget them.
It would be the equivalent of, how the 10 Commandments influence Christianity. They're not just words. I mean, you have to be able to embody these things on a day in and day out basis. Otherwise, you just won't survive at Amazon.
Staff don't have to learn the leadership principles by heart, but there's one idea that's drummed into them every day.
Although leaders pay attention to competitors, they obsess over customers. Customer obsession is the single most important thing to Amazon.com. It's the thing we focused on from the very beginning.
Amazon executives and Jeff Bezos in particular will tell you until you cannot stand hearing it any longer that they start with the customer and work backwards.
Start with the customer and work backwards.
I don't think you should make any bones about it. There's no socially wonderful thing about working from the customer backwards. It's smart business.
You only have to visit your local Royal Mail sorting office to see the impact of online retail. Email has meant we're sending fewer letters, but that's more than made up for by all the extra parcel deliveries. Last year, Amazon alone sold an average of more than £70 worth of goods to every man, woman and child in Britain. That's more than half of all online retail sales.
Amazon account for a large amount of our traffic. The difference in volume is ginormous. Yeah, massive contributor to the amount of traffic we pick up now.
Amazon's business is good news for some, but bad for others. Across Britain, bookshops have been closing at the rate of more than one a week.
See you soon. I'll give you a call later, Mrs. Carrington. Okay, bye-bye.
In Banstead, Surrey, Linda Jones is ready to name the culprit.
I've actually had people coming in and taking photos of books on their phones and looking and saying, you know, they'll look at the back and they will be there for some time. And then they will leave and I know exactly what they're doing. They are going to Amazon to order that book because they can get it a lot cheaper.
Linda says Amazon's prices can make trading impossible for her.
For instance, David Walliams' new book, Demon Dentist, on Amazon, £5. We have to retail it at £10.99, £12.99. We can't buy it for £5. So it costs us to buy £8.99.
Amazon admits it sells some books at a loss.
I think you find across many retail businesses, it's very common for best-selling products to be sold at very low margin reasons, even sometimes at a loss. But ultimately, we have to figure out how to make it all work.
Linda needs to take £10,000 a month just to break even. That hasn't been happening, and for the past year, she's been using her own savings to keep the shop open.
I love books and I love bookshops, and it's all well and good having that passion. Thank you. But I just can't afford to keep putting money into the business.
For Amazon's founder, bookshops are just on the wrong side of history.
Complaining is not a strategy. Amazon is not happening to book selling. The future is happening to book selling.
Amazon didn't invent the idea of shopping from home. Mail order catalogues had offered it for decades. But this kind of thing started to feel distinctly low-tech when a new vision appeared in the 1990s.
Imagine a world where every word ever written, every picture ever painted, and every film ever shot could be viewed instantly in your home via an information superhighway.
Ordinary domestic phone lines offered access to an exciting future.
It all comes down to computers communicating. And in fact, that's already happening on something called the internet.
In 1994, there was this idea that maybe the internet's going to be powerful enough that you can use it to create a kind of intermediary between customers, shoppers, and manufacturers. Well, that was a very vague idea. Jeff had this notion that maybe if you focused it in one product category, on the internet you can offer everything.
The question was, what's the first best product to sell online? I made a list of 20 different products and sort of force ranked them according to several different criteria, and ultimately picked books.
Bezos was already married to Mackenzie Tuttle, who he'd met at work. But their domestic routine was about to be disrupted.
He wanted to break away from the investment firm, roll up his sleeves, and build a business.
The Bezoses packed up their apartment and left New York behind.
He was in such a hurry that he hired a removal truck. He told them to drive west, and that he would get started and call them in a couple of days and tell them where exactly on the west coast they should go.
Once, young men were told to go west in search of gold or land, but in the 90s they went west in search of geeks. Bill Gates' Microsoft dominated the new world of personal computers from his hometown of Seattle, Washington. So there was plenty of tech talent around, and Bezos sent the removal truck there. Also heading to Seattle from California was an experienced programmer, Shel Kaplan, Amazon's first employee.
First, we had to buy some computers and software. We couldn't afford very big computers or very many computers, or we did have to be frugal because it was not a huge amount of investment.
The garage at Jeff and Mackenzie's rented house became the office. Bezos insisted on getting desks made from doors to save money. It's become part of Amazon mythology, the original example of another of those leadership principles, frugality.
We try not to spend money on things that don't matter to customers.
But employee number one always had his doubts about the desk doors.
If you ask people building them, you'll learn that they were actually more expensive than just buying a cheap desk. Looks frugal, it isn't really frugal.
I think frugality is in some ways a much misunderstood leadership principle. Frugality doesn't mean cheapness, it doesn't mean penny pinching. It means making efficient use of scarce resources. And I think within the door desk idea, the idea that you would improvise a desk out of the materials at hand, you also have the idea of a kind of a scrappiness, of a kind of making do with what you have to hand.
After months of coding on the doors, Bezos' new business was launched.
www.amazon.com. It takes you to our website.
Amazon's 8th employee, Todd Nelson, had been working as a waiter before he got the job that changed his life.
They had actually started shipping books in Jeff's garage, and they moved to this small warehouse.
Todd started working here, ordering and dispatching books. He and his colleagues responded to a computer linked to Amazon's website.
And they had a bell that whenever a customer would order a book, there'd be a little ding, ding, you know, and everyone would cheer, and made another sale. And within the first few days, it was ding, 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 and they had to turn it off because, you know, it was annoying.
By listing any book that could be ordered from distributors, Bezos' small business would claim the title Earth's biggest bookstore.
Over some large number of years, I think internet book selling is going to become a very large business.
At the end of each day, work in Amazon's offices stopped, and everyone, including Jeff and Mackenzie, went down to the basement to help get all the orders into the last post.
There's this feeling you just couldn't do enough. I was working, you know, 12, 16-hour days, working most weekends. I didn't take a vacation for the first 2-3 years. But it's what I wanted to do. I mean, I was excited by my work. It's the most fulfilling work I've ever done.
That first tiny basement warehouse in Seattle is a world away from what Amazon now calls its fulfillment centers. With more than 100 million items for sale on the website, keeping tabs on them across the network of warehouses is so complex that only the central computer really knows where things are. Amazon has such faith in it that any item can be stowed on any shelf.
The product is stored completely randomly around the building, and so the stower is allowed to pick any location that they want to in order to put that product away.
The random arrangement is actually efficient because it reduces the chance of a worker picking the wrong item, which might happen if similar items were stored side by side.
A customer will come onto the website, order the product, and the computer system will decide the best fulfillment center in which to pick that product. And we have pickers, and the computer system will send to their handheld scanner that order that says, go pick Downton Abbey Series 2, and it will also tell them where that product is.
The ordering process is almost completely automated, but only a human being can walk down an aisle and tell the difference between an icing bag and a cuddly toy.
They will scan the product, and then the computer system knows that that product has moved from the shelf into the tent.
Because the computer knows how big things are, it even tells the packers what size box to use for each item. Then, only at the final stage, the item is matched up with the customer's name and address.
it goes onto our outbound dock, and it will get put onto one of our many carriers vehicles along with delivery.
Back in John O'Groats, there's a new van load of online purchases.
Sandy, customs here.
Fred Firmer runs the ferry to Orkney. Out of season, there's time to get things shipshape. And Andrew Mowat knows it's always easier to get the party started with a Captain America costume. Bezos was picky about who joined Amazon. He originally interviewed everyone personally. James Marcus passed the test.
He didn't overwhelm you in a sort of show busy, uptight, in a business way, but he had a lot of brain power and a lot of focus. And you know, after 10 or 15 minutes of talking to the guy, a certain kind of magnetism came into play, which was not traditional and was that much more persuasive, I think, because of it.
Amazon was soon too big for everyone to meet Bezos, but new recruits were fired up in sessions about him and the company history.
Even in the initial training, we talk about things that Jeff would like and things that Jeff wouldn't like. You learn his story, driving out in the sedan, being in the garage, and like founding the company. People love a winner, so just being on that team. So it was a kind of job you could tell your future wife relatives about. They would be
At Christmas, the office staff were expected to help pack books at the warehouse. It gave them a rare insight into those much discussed customers.
You would pick the weirdest things. There was a lot of porn, there was a lot of scientific literature, and I would gift wrap once a copy of Mein Kampf. Of course, I was hoping that whoever was sending it to someone for a Christmas gift was sending it as a kind of cautionary tale about man's inhumanity to man, or see how far we can fall. But sadly, the card that went inside the thing simply said Merry Christmas.
By the late 90s, San Francisco was buzzing with dot-com startups, reinventing business and office life.
No check. There's an old timer here. Been here since May.
Companies like Pets.com were famous for spending their investors' money with no sign of profits. Amazon, too, was losing hundreds of millions while moving to ever bigger offices. But in the dot-com boom, new rules applied.
Wall Street gave companies a pass. They said, okay, we don't care if you make money yet. You're going to someday. But for now, just grow. Take that money, reinvest it in servers and marketing, whatever. Just grow until, you know, you hit the sky, and we'll be there as loyal investors behind you.
Bezos and his staff think about Amazon's growth as what they call the flywheel effect. It works like this. If a customer's pleased with their Amazon purchase, they buy more and tell their friends. So Amazon gets more traffic. That means it can offer more products at lower prices, which in turn attracts more customers. The flywheel builds momentum and becomes unstoppable.
It seemed at that point like there was nothing Amazon couldn't conquer.
In 1997, Amazon floated on a rising stock market only 2 years after it had opened for business.
It was heady days for the internet, and the stock price did nothing but go up, up, up.
Amazon's hard-working staff had all been given stock options when they joined.
one of the greatest absurdities at Amazon was that the reason everyone was killing themselves was because of the possibility that they would become hideously, unspeakably rich. At the same time, no one ever talked about this. You know, it was very gauche to talk about it. Everyone had to like pretend as though it was some sort of communist state, that everyone's just working because they just love working crazy, crazy hard. But the reality, of course, underlying everything, is that there was this hope of some sort of enormous payoff.
And for a while, it looked like that dream had come true.
Did you read the Times this morning? Yeah, I saw the Times this morning. At one point on Friday, Amazon.com's total stock market value surged past $30 billion, making it worth more than a major industrial company like Texaco. According to my calculations, you yourself are worth somewhere in the vicinity of $9 or $10 billion today. I only say that because I've got a follow-up question. Okay. What's with the Honda? This is a perfectly good car. The image of Jeff is one of sort of a brilliant, strategic, financial mind and a delighted child, you know? And that laugh. I mean, really. Really.
Jeff's laugh is memorable. You know, when you talk to him, if you're in a meeting with him, it's the thing that you emerge talking about.
I loved the challenge of it when I was there, especially at the beginning, and frankly I loved Jeff too. But working down the hallway from his laugh, after a while, they can, you know, get the grade on one.
Okay. Thanks very much indeed. Thank you.
In 1997, the internet was still a novelty for British business.
Bothans have set up what's called a website.
Back then, the new technology was much hyped, but didn't always deliver.
The web promised universal access to information, but then in the early days it involved unplugging the telephone to use your dial-up modem and then have to wait many, many minutes before every page loaded. But it was still pretty exciting.
Most big retailers didn't even have a website, but there were already other online booksellers competing with Amazon. Simon Murdoch was running a British site called Book Pages when he got a call from Seattle.
Jeff Bezos got in touch and arranged to come to London. I think he talked to several businesses. He met us in a hotel in central London.
Bezos said his staff in Seattle were already working on a UK version of Amazon, but Murdoch's book business created another possibility.
The first discussions were coming here anyway. Would you like to be part of it, or would you like us to compete with you?
Hello, guys.
Yes.
A deal was done for Amazon to buy.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so I hope you like the video.
Yeah.
Yeah, so see, I mean, Amazon is just one example that I want you to take a look. But overall, the data analytics, that is the biggest player. So if you are learning data analytics, you must learn a little bit about Amazon and how they are doing, how they are making profit. Because eventually, you will be working in something related to this, whether it is customer analytics or predictive analytics. So you will be working with this. So you need to understand the magnitude of the field that you are being exposed to. Okay, so please take that seriously and make sure, like, you know, you are all prepared. By the time you finish this course, you should be like fully equipped with the tools that are necessary. Okay. All right, guys, I'm gonna sign off. We can meet next week.
All right, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, guys.
So tutorial.
I'll add another link.
Yeah, no, thank you, sir.